Freeze! I'm Ma Baker. Put your hands in the air. Give me all your money.
This is the story of Ma Baker, the meanest cat from old Chicago town. Chicago, the city of dreams, drenched in rain and secrets. In the heart of this city, where survival was a game and chaos the rule, one name echoed louder than the rest: Ma Baker. She wasn't just a name, but a legend, feared, hated, and untouchable. And so began her reign of chaos. Maureen Baker was born into hardship. Her family worked the land, but the land gave them little in return. That night, Maureen lost more than her parents. She lost her faith in the world, and a new fire was born in her heart. With nothing left to lose, Maureen left the only home she had ever known. She swore to herself she would never bow to anyone again. Survival became her new game, and the rules were hers to write. She thought she had found a partner, but Charlie wasn't strong enough for the life Maureen envisioned. "You ain't tough enough," she told him. And from that moment on, Ma Baker walked her own path. Ma didn't need anyone but her family. Together, they would take what the world owed them, and no one could stop them. Their first job was messy but successful. And for Ma, it was just the beginning. He was her youngest, her baby. But Frank wanted to prove he was as tough as the rest. The Baker gang became legends overnight. From Chicago to Kansas, their names were whispered in fear and awe. They were unstoppable, but in the shadows, the law was closing in. The press called her the Widowmaker. For Ma, it was more than a name. It was a warning. She thought she found someone who could keep up with her, a man who understood the chaos. But she never saw the truth. But love was a weakness Ma couldn't afford. She would never let herself be blinded by it. Not again. She trusted him. But Ma was no fool. And in this world, trust was just a bullet waiting to be fired. "Love's a weakness I can't afford," she mutters, the knife in her hand tightening as she locks eyes with him. Her heart was hard as stone. She couldn't afford to care, and Henry's death was just another casualty in her war. In the world Ma lived in, love only got you killed. She knew it. She'd learned it the hard way. Frank was Ma's youngest. Her heart was cold, but Frank was still her baby. And now they'd taken him from her. Ma would make them pay for Frank's death. No one messed with her family and lived. The law had taken from her, but Ma would take back with blood. They thought they could break her, but Ma Baker didn't run from anything. She ran toward the fight. It was the final job, the one that would either make them legends or bury them for good. They fought to the bitter end, never surrendering, never begging for mercy. For Ma, surrender was a weakness. In the end, Ma Baker knew the cost of war, but she never backed down. Not once. "You can take my life, but you'll never break my spirit." The odds were against them, but Ma and her boys never knew how to quit. Not now, not ever. The fight had only one rule: survive. Ma wasn't going to die on her knees. They knew they were cornered, but Ma didn't believe in surrender. She only believed in going down fighting, and there would be no escape, no way out, only one way to go: through the fight to the very end. The walls were closing in, but Ma was never one to back down. Her spirit couldn't be broken. Ma never cried. She fought until the very end. And when she died with her head held high. "You can take my life, but you'll never break my spirit." And so ended the reign of Ma Baker, the one who never bowed. Her legend lived on, never to be forgotten. Her spirit never died. It lived on in the streets she ruled, in the hearts of those who feared her. Ma Baker's legend lived on in the stories told, in the whispers shared in dark corners. Her name would never be forgotten. In the end, it wasn't just the law that feared Ma Baker. It was everyone who knew her name. Ma Baker never cried, but she knew how to die.